Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. I have some breaking news that just might shake up the NFC East, and more specifically, the Washington Commanders. It's about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the landscape of the division and give Washington a real shot at elevating their roster this season. We're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that's been making waves lately with some aggressive moves in the NFL draft, and their plans to trade one of their key players, Travis Etienne, to the Commanders. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just a rumor, it's a developing story that could have huge implications for the Commanders and the entire NFC East. First, let's set the stage. The Jacksonville Jaguars, under new general manager James Gladstone, have been on a mission to make a statement. And folks, if you thought the Jaguars were just going to sit back and be passive, think again. Gladstone, who took over just ahead of this draft, made it clear that he wanted to shake things up. And boy, did he deliver. Right before the NFL draft kicked off, there was a buzz in the air. And then boom, Jacksonville trades up to snag the number 2 overall pick, giving them a shot at landing a franchise-changing player. They used that pick to select Colorado wide receiver and cornerback Travis Hunter, a versatile athlete with incredible upside. But that wasn't all. The Jaguars kept their foot on the gas, executing 2 more trades in the 3rd round, bringing in a total of 9 new players who are expected to make an immediate impact. This influx of talent marks a new era for Jacksonville. They're clearly aiming to compete at a higher level, and their draft strategy reflects that. But perhaps the most interesting development is the speculation around their backfield. You see, with the addition of some talented rookies like Dail from Virginia Tech and Syracuse's LaQuint Allen, the Jaguars are positioning themselves to be even more explosive on offense. Tootin, in particular, has the potential to be a game-changer early on. He's a fast, reliable pass catcher with a 4.32-second 40-yard dash, which makes him one of the quickest backs in this class. Over his 2 years at Virginia Tech, he's shown that he can catch the ball efficiently, 50 receptions in 2 seasons, with 0 drops. That kind of hands and speed could make him a perfect fit for a team looking to diversify its offense. Now, here's where things get really interesting for Washington fans. The Jaguars' moves in this draft have sparked speculation that they might be open to trading Travis Etienne. Why? Well, Etienne has been a bit of a head-scratcher for Jacksonville these past couple of seasons. Drafted as a first-round talent, he's shown flashes of brilliance, especially in 2023 when he scored a good number of touchdowns. But overall, his efficiency hasn't quite met expectations, and last year, he started losing touches and snaps to Tank Bigsby, a rookie who's been impressing the coaching staff. There's talk that Jacksonville might be considering a more running back by committee approach, especially with the emergence of Tootin and Allen, who can both catch passes out of the backfield. And that's where the potential fit for Washington comes into play. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, wait, why would Washington want Etienne? Well, think about it. If the Commanders are serious about making a push for the playoffs and even contending for a Super Bowl, adding a versatile, explosive running back like Etienne could be a real game-changer. Washington's current backfield, led by Brian Robinson Jr., is solid but not spectacular. Robinson is a hard-nosed runner, a good early down back, but he doesn't quite have that home run speed or the pass-catching ability that Etienne provides. And let's be honest, with the NFL shifting more towards dual-threat backs who can run and catch effectively, Etienne fits that mold perfectly. Plus, the Commanders have been somewhat cautious in the draft when it comes to adding running backs. They waited until the 7th round to pick up a back, and while that might work in some cases, it's not enough if they want to truly elevate their offense. They need a spark, a difference-maker who can take over games. Etienne, with his speed and pass-catching skills, could be exactly that player. And considering his contract status, if Jacksonville decides to move him, Washington might be the team that benefits the most by swooping in. It's a classic case of a team looking to bolster its roster with a proven talent who's still young and in his prime. So, what would it take for Washington to land Etienne? Well, it's all about the trade value. Jacksonville might be looking for draft picks or young players in return. The Commanders could offer a combination of picks, perhaps a mid-round selection, and a player or two who fit their roster needs. That's the kind of move that could really pay dividends, especially if Etienne joins a squad that's looking to make a serious run in the NFC. Now, let's talk a little about the current state of the Washington Commanders. It's been an interesting few years for the team. After a promising 2022 season that saw them start to find their identity under head coach Ron Rivera, 2023 was a bit of a roller coaster. There were moments of promise, but also some significant struggles, especially on offense. The team's passing game, led by quarterback Sam Howell, showed flashes of brilliance but also inconsistency. The offensive line has been a work in progress, and the running game, while solid at times, lacked that elite playmaker. That's why adding a guy like Etienne could be just what the doctor ordered. The Commanders have some young talent at receiver, with Jahan Dotson and Terry McLaurin, but they need a reliable running back who can catch passes and make plays in space. Etienne's skill set would complement this group perfectly. Plus, with the offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, now fully implementing his system, the offense is poised for a big leap forward. Etienne's versatility could be a key piece in that puzzle, giving Howell and the coaching staff more options and flexibility. But let's not forget the bigger picture. The NFC East is getting more competitive every year. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants are all making moves to improve, and Washington knows that they need to keep pace if they're going to contend. Adding a dynamic back like Etienne would send a message that the Commanders are serious about winning now, not just in the future. They're trying to build a balanced, explosive offense that can keep defenses on their heels and control the clock when needed. Now, as we look at the broader picture, it's important to remember that acquisitions like this aren't just about adding talent, but about the culture and the mindset of the team. Washington has been building a resilient squad, and bringing in a player like Etienne could give them that extra edge. The fans are hungry for success, and you can see that the front office is trying to put the pieces together to make a real playoff push, possibly even beyond that. With the right moves, the Commanders could surprise everyone this season. Of course, there's still a lot of moving parts. The trade talks are just beginning, and nothing is set in stone. Jacksonville might decide to keep Etienne, or they might be asking for a premium price that Washington isn't willing to pay. But the fact that this discussion is even happening signals how serious both sides are about making this work. It's a chess match, and the fans are right in the middle of it, hoping that their team makes the right move at the right time. And I have to say, if the Commanders do land Etienne, it could be a turning point. Imagine a backfield that features Brian Robinson Jr. Paired with a player like Etienne, quick, versatile, and able to do damage in multiple ways. It would give Howell a lot more options in the passing game, and it would make the offense much more unpredictable. Defenses would have to account for both power and speed, which can open up a lot of opportunities for the entire team. Plus, Etienne's ability to catch passes out of the backfield means he fits perfectly into the modern NFL offensive scheme, which prioritizes dual-threat backs. Now let's stay optimistic, because the NFL is all about those big moves, those game-changing moments that can define a season. Washington fans, you've seen your team struggle at times, but you've also seen flashes of brilliance and potential. The hope is that with the right addition, like Etienne, along with continued development of young players and strategic coaching, this team can take a big step forward in 2025. NFC East is tough, no doubt about it, but it's also ripe for the taking if Washington makes the right moves and executes well on game day. And speaking of execution, the coaching staff is aware of what needs to be done. Ron Rivera, with his experience and leadership, knows that this is a pivotal year. The front office has shown a willingness to be aggressive, and that's exactly what the fans want to see. They want their team to be bold, to take chances, and to go all in for a shot at the Super Bowl. Adding a player like Travis Etienne could be that bold move that propels Washington into that elite tier of contenders. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the potential trade and what it could mean for the Commanders, I want you all to keep your eyes peeled. The NFL offseason is full of surprises, and this story is just beginning to unfold. Whether or not Etienne ends up in Washington, one thing is for sure, it's going to be an exciting ride, and I'll be here to keep you updated every step of the way. Remember, this is your channel for all things Washington Commanders, and I love sharing these insights, rumors, and analysis with you guys. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the draft and trade rumors will continue to swirl as teams position themselves for the upcoming season. The Commanders are no different. They're always looking to improve, to find those hidden gems, and to put their best foot forward in the NFC East. If they manage to pull off a trade for Etienne, it could be one of the most underrated moves of the offseason. It would send a message to the division that they're serious about competing now, not just planning for the future. And let's not forget, the fans are hungry for wins. They want to see their team back in the postseason, making noise, competing at a high level. Adding a player like Etienne isn't just about improving the roster on paper, it's about making a statement. It's about showing everyone that Washington is here to contend, that they're willing to do what it takes to get over the hump. The NFC East is a tough, gritty division, but with the right pieces, the Commanders can definitely rise to the top. Now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this potential trade? Would you love to see Etienne in a Commander's uniform? Do you believe he can be that difference maker that pushes the team to new heights? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading what you all have to say. Your opinions matter so much to me, and I want to know what you think about the future of the team. Do you see this move happening, or do you think the front office will stick to their current plans? Whatever your take, I'm all ears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis. The NFL offseason is never dull, and Washington fans, you're at the heart of it all. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's hope that the next chapter for the Commanders is one filled with success, exciting plays, and that elusive Super Bowl glory. Thanks for being part of this journey with me, and as always, go Commanders.